Hi everybody, Audra here, also known as Twisted Chalker, and I'm your independent creator with Magnolia Design Company. And tonight I thought I would do a little tutorial on how to do this DIY kit. Be your own kind of beautiful. I made this during an event that I was participating in, and I've got it sitting on my shelf back behind me pretty much every day, and every time I see it, it just puts a smile on my face. And I thought, you know, I'll make a little kit for everybody that, well, I have a few of them. I only have about 6 kits put together, and do a tutorial showing how to make this and put this together. And the kit will have the self-adhesive reusable stencil, Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful. It has the Magnolia Design Company chalkboard surface with the stand. Now if you choose to do other things with this, it can be done that way, it can be done this way, and you could do both sides. So you could do one for normal everyday stuff and one for your favorite holiday, or however you choose. And then if it's chalk paste and you don't seal it, you can just wash it off and redo it and do other things on it. So this is pretty much a very versatile surface. Then there will also be a regular mini squeegee and then a piece of a cut apart squeegee. And the reason it's this small is because you will see, as as I'm doing the tutorial, you'll see there's some areas that are kind of a tight squeeze to get to, and having one this little will be very helpful. So there's that. And it will have four little samples of chalk paste with all the colors that you need for this particular project. Stir stick, and then your ribbon for embellishing the stamp. That's the ribbon. So that is the DIY kit. Oopsie. So tonight I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on how to make this kit. Let's see. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit and use my squeegees that I have on hand. Put this kit away. And out of reach so I don't get anything on it. Because I'm bound to get something on it if it's laying out there. I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I've got these squeegees that we have, that Magnolia Design Company offers. I don't know if you can see it. But there are 5 different sizes. This one's got a little bit of a swoop in there. It's flat and smaller. And that one as well is like a Phillips head screwdriver. This one is a fine tip. And there's a round angled one. And then this, I guess that's like a, I don't know what that's like. But anyway, these are very helpful for tiny little spaces, so that's what I'll be using tonight. And I have my stencil ready to go. I've used it already many times. So it's written on the back so that I know which side to place this on when I'm done using it. And I have fuchsia. And, oh, I grabbed the wrong yellow. This is Sahara Gold. I don't want Sahara Gold, so I will be right back. Daffodil, herbal green, and brilliant white. Those are the 4 colors. So at this point I'm going to lower the camera now so you can see what I'm doing on the table. All right. I'll set this. Lower the camera. Here we go. There we are. Okay. So here is a clean surface, same one as this. This is one I used during an event that I was participating in, and it had this on it, and I turned it over and chalked with that on it. This used to have a Christmas design, and one of the questions that somebody asked me during the event was, does this stuff wash off and can you reuse the surfaces? And so I demonstrated how everything washes off, and tonight I'm not going to do that. But I am going to cheat a little bit and take this off of the stand and use this for tonight's project. I could have just left it on the stand and done the stand, but anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and fuzz the stencil, even though it's not a newer one, because of the type of surface I have. I want to peel the stencil off of the backing. Now, if you get this and you forget to write on the back of your backing, that'll be okay. You just have to be very careful when you're putting it back. Excuse me, and make sure you put it on the shiny side. This is the shinier side. This is a little shiny, but nowhere near as shiny as that one. I'm sure you can see the difference there. I have put it back on this side before, and it was horrible to get it off, and my stencil got all stretched out because it really, really sticks to that side. So this is the side you want it on. All right, enough of that. So I'm going to fuzz it. Now I am using the Magnolia Design Company's Tacky Towel. The gray side is used for fuzzing the stencils. The green side is used for drying the stencils. The only time you really need to dry your stencil is if you use it and then you want to reuse it right away. But you need to wash it first, because you can stencil maybe two or three times before you have to wash it. So if you're doing, using letters more than 2 or 3 times, or doing more than 2 or 3 surfaces with the same stencil, you're going to need to wash it. And then you'll need to dry it really, really well, because if you don't, and there's water in the screen area, I don't know if any screen area here is big enough to show you. Can you see right there? There's a screen area. There's no hole. It's all screened area. If there's water in that screen area, it will not dilute, but it will thin out the chalk paste that you're placing on here, and it'll cause it to bleed. And so your design won't come out as smooth and sharp as you want it to look. Okay, that's enough for that. So, now I'm going to place, I'm going to bring this up a little bit to the top, because when I put it in the stand, you see I got the flower all the way to the top, so that when it sits in the stand, it doesn't cover up the design down here. I'm not really getting in the camera. There you go. So I'm bringing the design all the way to the top. Okay. And so I'm going to take it all the way to the top, but I'm going to center it right and left. And the way I do it, if I really want it way on the top edge, you can see through the screen. I can see through the screen. I don't know if you can. Let me see if I can show you. I don't think you can. I don't know if you can or not, but you can see. Oh, there you go. You can see through the screen, so it helps with the lining. If you want your design to be in a certain spot, you can use the screen to kind of guide you, but I need to move it over here a little bit because I am way off center. Nope, and I'm crooked. Let me face it towards me first, and then I will turn it around. Alright, so now I've got it placed on here where I want it to be. The flower is at the very top edge, and I need to work out, I don't know if you can see it, I need to work out the air bubbles. So I'm doing it from the center out. Because if you have air bubbles, when you chalk over it, it will also bleed, because it won't the green area is where it tells the paste to stop, and it won't be there to tell it to stop, and so it'll just keep going through, and it'll just smear rather than come out with your design. Okay, this is very much like silk screening. Now, I didn't check my pastes before I started. So here's my fuchsia, not magenta. My fuchsia is looking pretty good. So I think we're good there. Generally you'll end up with it caked up on the side, because when you wipe the excess off and put it back in, it just rests on the side. And if you're like me and you don't push it back in, it'll sit up there and just kind of get hard. But it can be blended back in, and if you need, you use distilled water to thin it out a little bit if you need to. And here is the herbal green. See, it just kind of chunked up right there on the side. I don't know if you can tell. See, no big deal. Just mix it in. Now this is a little bit thicker. This is more like frosting than it is cake batter. So I'm going to add some distilled water. I have this bottle of distilled water, and I'm saying distilled water because you do not want to put tap water in your paste, because you will end up with mold, and mold will ruin your paste. Still a little on the thicker side. Now, Magnolia Design Company does carry a spritzer bottle as well that you can use if you choose. But any spray bottle will do. Or if you're okay with doing, droplets, you could do that as well. You just have to be careful not to put too much, because you don't want it to be too thin. If it's too thin, it will also bleed through your screening, and your design. Oops. Your design will not come. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yep, that's about par. I'll have to wash my hands before I get any further on this. I'll have the green inside the white. That'll be the way it'll happen for me. Oh my. Okay, so that looks about right now. And then wash my hand. There we go. All right. Check my brilliant white. Oh, that looks really good. Oh yeah. Great. Okay. And my daffodil. So it's kind of caked on the sides a little bit, which is fine. Very thick. More frosting. No, I have not tasted it. So I'm sure it wouldn't. I'm sure it would not taste like frosting. But it looks like it. There we go. A little bit more. Now what you can do too, if you have a paste that generally you find it being a little thicker and drier every time you open it, once you use it, before you close it up to put it away, just spritz a little bit of distilled water in it. Don't mix it, and just shut it, close it up with the lid, put it away, and it should help it not to be so dried up the next time you open it. It's not really dried, it's just thicker. So, okay. Now, I want to do I want to do basically the same thing I did with that one. I want to do the pink flowers and the yellow bee and the white words and the green leaves and stems. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the bee. And I'm going to leave it on here pretty thick since I'm going to be working on the rest of it to keep it from drying too fast. Because if it dries before I lift it, it will pull the design up with it, because it will be stuck to the screen. I need more squeegees. Alright, so the flowers will be in the pink, fuchsia. The color name is fuchsia, which is what you'll get in your sample. Now I'm going to do the bigger part first, and then when I get closer to the stem, I'm going to switch out to a smaller squeegee so I can get the tight area. And again, I'm leaving that on pretty thick so that it doesn't dry out before I finish the whole project. Sorry, I'm concentrating here. The closer it gets to the leaf, the smaller my squeegee is going to need to be so that I have a better chance of only getting the petals and not the... There we go, not the stem. Okay, one more flower. Okay. And now I'm going to take this tool right here, and I'm going to work the pink over the petals that are really close to the stem there. This is where the little really small piece of squeegee, of the cut apart squeegee, will come in handy. So all of that right there is flower, but there's a stem really, really close to it. And I'm also going to do the same thing for the stem so that I can get the green into the stem without going over the flower petals. It's almost like, you know, coloring in those adult coloring books that have the teeny tiny little details. Okay, and right here. All right, now I'm going to do I'm actually going to start off with one of these for the stems and the leaves. I'm going to use the fine tip one for the areas that are really in there. That's just a bud, so I'm going to go ahead and do the bud green. A lot of times they're just green until they're green until they start to open, right? Until they start to bloom. There we go. And I got a big old glob for this big old space. You could have just used one of the squeegees, but I don't want to use it when I put it in the kit for people to get a hold of. I want to give people a used squeegee. Now, I noticed missed a little bit of the petal right here. Okay. And I'm going to do some fine tip work right here. And some fine tip work right here. There we go. There's a little bit right there that needs to, a little bit up in here. I can see the black through the screening, so where there's black, I want to cover. All right, and now the easiest part. So it's been a nice relaxing Sunday for me. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday. Did any of you watch the game? Is it still going on? I don't even know. I don't have cable. I don't keep up with that stuff. So I don't even know if the game is still going on. Or who's playing. I am so out of touch. I don't know who's playing or anything. Who's playing tonight? I don't know. If you know, pop it in the comments. That'd be fun to see. Okay, so now I got it all covered up. No black spaces are showing whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and just scrape off the excess colors. And I'm going to start with the yellow since I did the yellow first. I'm sorry, daffodil. This is the daffodil color. I'm going to scrape it off. Put it back in the jar. Just like that. So the bee is ready. And I'm trying to speed up just a little bit because I don't want this to start drying before I pull the stencil off. So, I gotta hurry. And I'm trying to be careful not to mix my colors because I don't want to put green in with the pink. And I don't want to put pink in with the green. And I see some screened area that I missed right there. So I'm going to take my fine tip and just fill it. I love these handled squeegees with the different sizes. These are fantastic. And then I want to scrape the green off. I'm just putting it back in the container. And now the white. I'm just taking the excess white off. Putting it back in. Okay, the peel to reveal. I'll do it right side up so you can see it. I don't know if it's printing, if it's showing backwards on your end. I didn't get all the pink done in time. So it's coming up a little bit with the screen. So I'm just laying it back down and I'm putting it back in. There we go. And there we have it. Be your own kind of beautiful. So, I'm going to dry this. I think I'm going to dry it. And now, I'm going to place it in the stand so you can see. There it is on the stand. And now I want to embellish the stand a little bit, but I need to wash my hands. So let me wash my hands real quick. Because I don't want to touch the ribbon and get all kinds of, I don't know if you can see that. That's so pretty. It really does just make me smile every time I see it. So, to do the ribbon, oops, I have more chalk paste. There we go. All right. I could just use the ribbon out of the kit, but then I don't want it to be all wrinkled. And I tied this pretty tight. So this is the ribbon I pulled off of the one that I had sitting on the shelf. So I'm going to take this off here, lay it over there. So this will come, the kit will come with this ribbon, and it's wired, so it's really easy to work with. And I just basically wrapped it around the stand like this, and then tied it once. And then I grabbed the pink polka dotted one, and I lay it with the polka dots down, put the green underneath and the yellow. It doesn't matter what order you put it in, whichever order you want. Whichever you want showing the most, it's up to you. And then I put it underneath here, just like this. And this will start coming up a little bit. And then I just took the 3 pieces of ribbon and tied it once. There we go. Pull it nice and tight. And pull this tight. On the stand, just like that. And you can position it however you want. Turn it so the polka dots show and spread them out so you can see all 3 colors. However you want to do it. This is just how I do it. I love doing this kind of embellishing. And then I have to scrunch it down a little bit on the sides because you don't want to cover up the space for the stand or for this, the chalkboard surface to slide into. And we slide it in, and that's it. That is your Be Your Own Kind of Beautiful DIY kit. I have a little string here I want to cut off. There we go. Nice and clean. One of my favorites. This is the one that sits on my shelf behind me and makes me smile every time I see it. So the kit comes with everything you need, and I have 6 of these available at this point. And that's it. All right. Thank you everybody for joining me. If you're here, I see some people, but I don't see them because my eyes aren't the best. But I know I haven't responded to your comments yet, but I will. I will read everybody's comments, and I will post a little note to you after this is done. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Good night, everybody.